Rohini College of Engineering and Technology, near Anjugramam Junction, Kanyakumari Main Road, Palkulam, Wariyur.
A warm welcome you all. So I am Professor Jabash Samuel, Associate Professor, Department of EEE. So now I would like to share something about electrical drive. What do you mean by drive? Drive are known as, it is a system employed for moving control of electric machine. So drive that employ electric motor as prime movers are known as electric drive. So otherwise electric drive is defined as it is a control system or control mechanism to control the speed of electric motor. So it is the combination of prime mover, transmission equipment and mechanical working load, which is simply called a drive. So type of drive. The drives are classified into three categories: group drive, individual drive and multi-motor drive. Let us see one by one. First of all, group drive. A group drive is defined. A drive consists of single motor which drive one or more electric machine through shaft or belt or pulley. So that's why this drive is known as shaft drive. So n number of machine is driven by a single motor, that is group drive. So the advantage of group drive is one motor is used to control n number of machines. So the initial cost is very low. And the drawback of group drive system, that is, if any problem occur in the motor which will collapse the entire system. That is the main drawback of group drive. Oh, next one, individual drive. So in individual drive, each individual machine is driven by a separate motor. That is, every machine can be controlled by a single separate motor. So this motor also impart the motion to various other parts of machine. The advantage of this individual drive is, if any problem occur in particular motor, the certain motor only stop, and which does not affect the other performance of the industrial machine. So the efficiency is high. The drawback is the cost of motor. For every machine we need a separate motor, so the cost is very high. Then next one is multi-motor drive. A multi-motor drive means a single function or a single function can be done by using several type of motor. Okay, for example, elevators or lift. So the different function can be done by using different motor. Traction drive is the best example for multi-motor drive. Okay. So this is the basic structure or traditional type, conventional type electric drive system. So see the structure, the purpose of the drive is to control the speed of a DC motor which is attached with the load. So in order to control the speed of drive, we are using two more electrical machine, that is one AC motor and DC generator. So initially AC voltage is given to the motor which start rotator, which is coupled with the generator, When the motor rotates, the DC generator start rotating, and DC voltage is given to the DC voltage is generated and given to the DC motor. So this structure or this arrangement is coupled with the load. So by varying the resistance or field current, we can control the speed of generator, as well as the output voltage can be improved. So by varying the voltage across the DC motor, we can control the speed. So by this method, the speed of the DC motor can be easily controllable. So this is the conventional or traditional method used to control the speed of the motor. But the drawback is, in order to control the speed of motor, we are using two more electrical device. That means one electrical motor, AC motor, as well as DC generator. The cost is very high due to the more number of components. Okay. So this is the basic block diagram of a modern drive system. So which consists of a source, normally source available in the form of AC or DC. Then the main block is power processor or power electronic converter. So there are 5 types of power converter, that is AC to DC converter or rectifier, then DC to AC converter or inverter, then DC to DC converter or chopper, and AC to AC converter, that is AC voltage regulator, and finally cyclo converter, that is a AC voltage controller with change in frequency. Any kind of converter can be used in the power electronic converter block. For example, we preferred a DC motor, and the output of the power electronic converter is connected with the motor. We preferred a DC motor. The source voltage is AC. Normally the availability of voltage is AC. So the power electronic converter block is a rectifier which converts the AC voltage into DC by means of this rectifier. This DC voltage is given to the DC motor, and the motor rotates. So for controlling purpose, we are having a sensing unit and control unit. Sensing unit is nothing but it is a speed and current sensor. So the speed of motor can be easily sensed and given as the input to the control unit. The control unit having two input. One is a standard input, that is the rated speed of motor is given as one input, and another one is the actual speed sensed by the motor. And the control unit compares these two input, that means, and find the difference or lagging between the speed. For example, the actual speed of motor is 1400 RPM. The standard speed is 1500 RPM. So there is a 100 RPM lagging in between standard and actual. So the control unit generates control signal based to improve the voltage of the power semiconducting devices inside the rectifier unit. That means power electronic converter mean. So if the gate signal can be improved or gate signal can be varied by means of this control unit, the voltage generated by the power electronic converter, that is rectifier, is improved. Therefore, the speed of motor can be improved. So by this method, you can easily control the speed of motor. So this is the basic structure of modern electric drive. So this is the simplified diagram: power supply, control equipment, electric motor, and mechanical load. The feedback and the control unit is not shown in this diagram. So advantage of electric drive. There are so many advantages, that is feasible control characteristics, available in wide range of speed and torque, very good efficiency, then power factor can be improved, no noise because there is no noisy creating equipments in this drive, and low maintenance, and it can be easily to transport. So what are the factors affecting the selection of drive, or what are the factor interrelated with the selection of drive? So whenever we select a drive for particular application, first thing we find the speed range of motor. So based on the speed range, we can select the drive. Okay, and a braking requirement. So what kind of braking? There is two type of braking are available: mechanical braking and electrical braking. So mechanical braking means by using mechanical components, the braking can be achieved. Electrical braking, resistive braking, regenerative braking, and plugging. These are the various type of electrical braking. So the type of braking can be choose when we select for the drive for particular application. The efficiency of drive, then power factor, it is an important thing. That is the angle. Power factor is the angle between voltage and current. This can be considered. Like load, what are the load applied to the electrical machine? Then availability of supply, if is any distortion or variation in power supply. And finally we consider the economic aspects when we select the drive: the initial cost, running cost, maintenance cost. This should be considered. So selection of this is the concept of selection of motor based on load variation. So load is an important factor for industrial application. Sometimes the load can be as continuous because 24 hours running. Some application the load is variable load. In some cases it is pulsating load and short time load. So the type of load can be considered when we select the drive for a particular application, and the losses also considered. Okay. So this is the comparison between DC and AC drive. There are two type of drive. AC drive means a control mechanism or a drive system designed to control the speed of AC motor. And DC drive means a control system or control mechanisms employed to control the speed of DC drive. So the first difference, the speed torque can be achieved easily, but in AC drive it is not easy to adjust speed torque. So DC drive is basically self-starting and AC drive not self-starting. DC drive required maintenance, but AC drive having less maintenance. The cost of DC drive is high, and AC drive compared to it very cheap. Here, in order to the normal power supply is AC, so in order to drive the DC drive, we need a rectifying circuit. So the cost is cost which take more with include the rectifying unit. So in case of AC drive, there is no need for a rectifier. Okay, so these are the different between AC and DC drive. So the drive can operated in 4 quadrant, that is based on the voltage and current value, basically, which is mentioned as forward motoring, forward braking, reverse motoring, and reverse braking. So for more information, this 4 quadrant operation can be explained by using the example of hoist or lift lever. Okay, these are all about the basic fundamentals of electric drive. Thank you for patient listening.